Hi everybody, One here. Just get that microphone in the right place. I hope you enjoyed the little cinematic at the beginning of this video. I thought it was probably the best way to introduce it. What I'm planning here, as the titles would have suggested, is a build series on this custom map I've created using World Painter, and it will be in an Elven style, what I like to think of as High Elven. And I originally did this build as a plot build on a creative server, but I'm not there anymore, and I managed to get a schematic of the build, which was a 128 square plot, and came about as far as here. So since then I've added this, which, as you can pretty obviously see, was a cut and paste or copy and paste to the back, and then adding the central section. Overall I'm very happy with this build. It looks really nice so far. There's absolutely nothing inside really yet. These dragons are the first organics I've actually ever managed to get to work for me. Usually they are terrible. That's probably the best you can say about them. The tree came out alright. It's really quite nice. So we just have a very quick look inside. As you can see, there's not very much in here. I've still got to do a hell of a lot. Go upstairs. This staircase winds its way up. You have some lovely viewing areas, and that isn't one of them. Lost in my own build. I really enjoyed doing this top section, as crazy as it might sound, but it looks really nice, and the more I did, the nicer it looked. And what I really need to do now is just get some sort of interior happening, but I don't know if I'll be doing that straight away. Look at this lovely central section with its sort of viewing area over this. I don't know what you would call it. I suppose we could do a throne room of some description in here. How about some suggestions? That's a good idea. How about people suggest to me what I might do? Yeah. Alright, back down and out. Let's get out of here. So there's been a lot of work put into the map. I did these caves up here by hand. Well did it. Originally that was just the gorges with the river running straight to this lake at the back, but then I decided that I wanted to put something back here. And of course hand-cut waterfalls into the mountainside. There's still a lot of work to be done. Over here the road leaves the build. There will be another one on the other side, and there's a gatehouse leading up to it. What I'm planning for this series is to do a whole bunch of builds which complement the main build. So I want to do like houses or temples, and perhaps a little farm down here would be nice, with the farmhouse up on the hill there. And down towards this direction, if it will load. Isn't it good that that Optifine is back? Multi-core chunk loading. Look at that. Up there is where I've been experimenting with some designs for houses, and I'm not happy with either of those. But down here there will be a port. I'm going to put it in between these cliffs, and on either side will be a small city of some description. God, that look. And so the harbour will be in there. on across here, I plan to put a tower on each side, quite a tall tower, probably at least as high as that platform that those houses are on, and connect them with an arched bridge so that the inner part of the bay will have the main part of the town, but the actual port stays out here. So I'll have docks on either side, and then I want to develop some sort of boat, ship style to go with this. Probably something like a byreme or a galley of some description. Sailed galleys with latine sails, hopefully, from which I will be looking for inspiration, and I certainly don't plan to copy him, but inspiration from a builder called Mr. Beastie, who is amazing and does the most incredible ships, and he does very, very nice small medieval ships, as well as his bigger Napoleonic ships are just beautiful. But if you haven't checked out his builds, I would suggest you do. There's a link off my channel. Up on the right hand side you'll find people you should check out, and everybody on that list you should go have a look at. But so out here will be the main part of the port, and on this island over here I'm planning a giant fortress, a big fortress anyway, and at this end of the island I will place a large tower which will have bridges arching over probably to the mountains on each side, so that any ships entering the port have to sail underneath these two bridges, which would give the port incredible defences. So I will be putting a combination of merchant vessels and warships around here, and probably out past the island, out on the outskirts. Perhaps there'll be the Elven fleet at anchor, or a part of it anyway. So there will be various builds to go with this. So in that area of the town slash city, and then further out around the map I want to do farms and perhaps small elven villages. So this whole island is one elven kingdom. You can see there's obvious places out here for little farms or little villages. These streams, by the way, were all hand dug. What I did was I worked out where I wanted them in World Painter, and I did a rough sort of channeling of the streams and lakes, and then came in and finished it off by hand. Now that might sound kind of crazy, but it actually doesn't take as long as you might think, especially when you've done the basic work in World Painter to start with. I might have to do a video on how to do that, if people would like to see that at some stage. Out around the coast on both sides there's a lot of option for little builds and places out here. I'll go and quickly have a look at the other side. Perhaps I'll stop the video and fly over there and start again. I'll be back in a minute. Okay, so I'm back, and here we are over on the other side of the island. It's not a particularly big island. The whole map in World Painter was only 1,000, no, it was 10 sections, so what's that, 1,280, and that includes the ocean sections. So I think the actual island itself was probably 700 to 800 blocks across. But as you can see, over here on this side there's a ton of room. I don't have to have all these trees, I can get rid of some of them. And I can do perhaps little villages over here. A village over this, in this area, might be nice. somewhere, and or even down here a bit back towards the harbour. But there's enough space, it's not really open, but there's enough space around on the island to put a few interesting builds. I like this little area here, it's got a lot going for it. I'll just drop down so you can have a look. I may yet do another little stream coming down off the mountain, dropping into the ocean off the cliff. I've got to do a bit of work on these cliffs yet. They, as you can see, they're really just a outline. They need, I've got to make them a lot rougher and randomize them a little bit and make them look a little bit more natural than that. They need some serious work. But this way's back to the harbour. And as you can see, this island over here, if it ever loads, is plenty big enough to do a good little castle on. The idea I want to go is there's an island in France that has a massive church on it, and I can't remember the name of it offhand. Wait a minute, pause. Okay, it's called Mont Saint Michel. Look it up if you don't know it. But it's an island on top of which there is a large, at the very highest point, there's a cathedral of some description, a big church anyway, with this massive spire on top of which there's a statue of Saint Michael. And surrounding it has developed a small town, and it's surrounded by walls, and there's a causeway coming out to it from the mainland. Now, anyone who's French, please excuse my horrendous pronunciation of Mont Saint Michel, but that's the best I could do. But anyway, that gives you a good indication of what this series is going to be. I really want people to suggest things to me. Perhaps they can give me ideas I haven't even thought of as far as things that I could put on the island. While I say this, I'll have a quick look at these buildings over here. These were trying to develop a housing style for the elves, and I don't like either of these. So I've got to keep working on that, so bear with me. Some of the elements I like, but not. But yes, as I was saying, I want suggestions if people would like to give them to me, and maybe you've spotted something that I could do that I haven't even thought of. So let me know. Let me know what you think of it so far. And like, subscribe, and share it with your friends. Bye for now.